this conference? What difference does it make? Who are the people attending? And if there are any outcomes that will impact policy? And joining us to have this conversation is the convener for the conference, Eric Apedo. He's the CEO of Safety Communications Consult as well. And also with us remotely is Israel Laryea, who will be moderating the conversation at the event. I'm having a full circle moment right now. I'll tell you why much later in our conversation. But good morning, Israel. And it's good to have you.
Yes. Good morning to you, Noella. It's good to see you too.
Yeah, I miss you. I do. Anyway, once the conversation was about energy, I knew you were certainly going to be a part of that conversation. So tell us about this conference. I know it's not the maiden edition, but really what's it's about for people who are watching us for the first time.
All right. So, in recent years, we've been talking about the green transition. As saying, we've been using, fossil fuels as our main source of energy. Mm-hmm. And this has been happening for a while now. But in recent times, we've come to the realization that it is not sustainable. It's going to get to a point where the resources are going to run out, mm-hmm. or it's going to be difficult to extract the resources. Right. So the conversation has been about having sustainable sources of energy. And so this conversation essentially is about mobilizing corporate Ghana so that they can champion or they can lead the conversation as far as energy sustainability is concerned. This is not the first one. It's not the maiden conference. It happened last year. But this year, once they approached me, in fact, once Eric approached me and said, Israel, we want you to moderate this conference, I said, okay, what's it about? I got to understand it. And I thought, look, I can take it in another direction completely, or it's something I'm already passionate about. Right. And so I was like, hey, yes, why not? I'll be happy to be on board. Okay. And subsequently, I've led, conversations, including going to see the energy minister, to get him to appreciate how we could use a conference like this to rally corporate Ghana, so that if we can have corporate Ghana being involved in the conversation, we're going to go a lot further than just it being a situation or something sitting with government or policy.
That's really good to hear. And we're going to talk more about the sustainability, renewable energy and all of that. But the theme for 2025, I understand, is safety leadership for sustainable development. But let me come to Eric Apedo in the studio and put that question to you. Why was that theme chosen?
Good morning, and thanks for our viewers for watching us or watching on the show. When it comes to project or any other endeavor, safety leadership is key because it gives a certain kind of direction as to how to prevent or how to avoid some hazards or some risks along the line. Then, if you champion that conversation or that culture, you'll be able to avoid a lot of accidents on your path. Mm-hmm. So that's how come we believe that when you don't inculcate safety leadership in your project or executions or things that you need to, you want to do, you may have a lot of accidents on the way, and you may not have a proper in terms of achieving a very fair or good result at the end of the day. So that's why we believe that in energy, any other thing, safety leadership is very key. Yeah.
Now, I asked you that question for a reason, but let me pose a question to Israel, and I'll come back to you. Maybe you can take a bite on that.
Thank you.
Oftentimes, when we talk about leadership in energy and sustainability, personally, for me, it sounds a little bit abstract. And I say that because sustainability, energy, they seem to be some sort of high-level policy and conference buzzwords, okay? They're like good for the optics and communication. But for the regular Ghanaian watching this morning, all right, normal Ghanaian watching us, they may not be able to resonate with, the wordings and all of that, And so how are we ensuring that we practicalize, this theme?
All right. So that's where I made reference earlier that we're rallying corporate Ghana. Now, if we are able to successfully rally corporate Ghana or get corporate Ghana to come on board, and they are adopting, and there are simple ways to do this. If you can adopt a certain amount of renewable energy in your energy requirements in the office. So for instance, we take multimedia or JoyNews, for instance, and we're saying that we have some solar panels that are going to, or we're going to base our servers, or our servers are going to be powered by solar energy. And we have that in place. What it means is that we've adopted some renewable energy. Now, when we do that too, it also means that should the grid go down, should there be a power outage or for some reason, it means that we would have our servers running. So you can decide that you are adopting an aspect of solar or renewable energy. You work with it for some time, and then over time, you're going to probably onboard some more aspects of your energy needs. Now, if a company or a corporate organization decides that they're going to do that, why, by doing that, they also get their employees or the staff on board, because they get to appreciate that, okay, so my company is actually doing some amount of solar. Is this something I may want to consider? Or even the company itself, after doing that, we want to encourage its staff and say, this vendor that we got to deploy solar for us is available to provide solar solutions to some of the staff, maybe at a reasonable fee, or we're going to. So that's the leadership we're talking about. So if the corporate executives are taking that leadership, then it's going to filter down to the rest of the people. And then before we know it, everybody is adopting some form of renewable.
I'm really happy you brought the issue of renewable energy in, because it was going to be my next question to you. Because around the world, obviously, the call for a transition to renewable energy is quite loud, but it's also often criticized as being costly and also widening the inequality gap. And so I was going to ask you how you think us as a country and the continent at large can ensure that the push for, sustainability doesn't just leave behind the poor, the people in the rural communities, and even small businesses that already struggle, to access energy.
So you're right on point. So yes, a lot of the time when we have these conversations, a lot of people will say, adopting solar is too expensive, the initial cost and all of that. But one of the things I keep on saying, and it's something that I'll stress also at this conference as moderator, is that you can start small. You can actually start small. In fact, I'm having conversations with one of these solar solution providers, and we haven't gotten there yet. But when we do, it's going to be made public, where we're going to make something or come up with something called the starter pack. And the starter pack should be that affordable that the regular barber or salon owner or, the some kiosk in the corner should be able to adopt it. Once they're able to adopt it and they get to appreciate that, okay, it's not so expensive and they enjoy the benefits of it, next time they will want to upgrade. Or if the barber has been able to go solar, how much more the person who owns their home? All right, so it's about making available solutions that are affordable and are reasonable and easy for people to uptake. And then when that happens, then you essentially, you can say, democratizing access to solar energy solutions. But yes, it is very, very possible.
Eric, you want to take a bite on that as well?
Yes, thank you once again. So for me, if you look at the corporate environment, the energy that is being consumed, so much that solar is needed, because solar will help you to save. I mean, if solar can help you to save half of your cost, let's say you spend like 100 cedis in a month for energy consumption, then you can do like, okay, let me do 50 by investing solar. I mean, why won't you go for that? So I believe that the green transition initiative or project is something that we should all rally around. We should all invest in. Like you said, you can start small. If you can buy a bit of a solar panel, let's say you need about 20 to install in your building. Why won't you buy one at a time, maybe in a month or so in a year, you can buy all the solar panel you need to install at home. So I think that we should really look at it again as a nation. In fact, somebody told me that since '94, he installed solar panel in his home. To date, there's not be a day that he had light out in his house. So it's something that we should look at it as a nation and then really push into it, because energy is what we all need to do things, as a continent, as a country, as planet. Absolutely.
And let me come back to you, Israel. I mean, you are a veteran journalist, and as such, you understand the power the media wields in shaping public discourse. Beyond just publicity, how do you think we, as the media, can hold our leaders, in our energy sector? How can we hold them responsible? How can we hold them accountable to some of the issues that we have when it comes to our energy sector?
It's exactly what we're doing right now, having this conversation. And the fact that JoyNews has declared August the Sustainability Month. Having conversations like these will get people to appreciate that it is possible. The things that we thought that previously we thought, oh, it's not possible, it's going to be so expensive. Once we have conversations like these, people come up with solutions every now and then. Yesterday, for instance, there was a conversation on Joy FM where we're talking about how you can, buy your own home, and start small. Once we keep having these conversations, the politicians also or the policymakers also get to realize that it is possible, that these things can be done. And once we're also bringing on board the corporate sector, or we're bringing on board corporate Ghana, once we have corporate Ghana buying into these conversations, they're going to lead it. Okay? Sometimes they may even lead it as something that they're doing as corporate social responsibility. But once they're leading these conversations and being a part of these conversations, then we know we're getting somewhere. Often, when we leave it to just government, for government to take some of these decisions or drive some of these policies, we really don't tend to get very far, because government doesn't appreciate the dynamics involved when it comes to, commercializing a commercial product. They are more like, okay, we're providing, subsidies to support people. But I'm saying, let's have these conversations. Governments can come on board and say, for instance, this initiative I'm talking about, that we're going to make starter packs available, solar starter packs available. Governments can come in and say, okay, corporate Ghana is leading the conversation. I will come in here with some subsidy at some point, or drop duty on this item or that item. And that's how we can get to ensure that this conversation is sustained.
Okay. So let's now zoom into what would characterize, the conference, come 25th. In terms of topics and speakers, what should we look out for?
Okay, so in terms of topic, we have one of the topics that talks about energy safety, looking at the era of renewable energy. There are also one that we're looking at regulations, okay, where the government speaks about things that we need to look out for as a partner, as a stakeholder, what you should be driving with, So there are quite a number of topics that we are considering, but in all this, safety leadership is key, because you run through all. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Israel, you want to give us a sense of who this conference is for? Is it strictly for industry players, policymakers, or there's room for us, young people, entrepreneurs, and the general public?
There's room for young people wanting to come on board and get to learn some of the things we're going to be talking about. I mean, myself, I also intend to, be open-minded and learn as much as possible. I'm passionate about this field and this sector. And I'm also happy to know that the energy minister is coming on board. I'm expecting that he will come and make some, solid pronouncements as far as policy is concerned when it comes to the green transition. So yes, everybody is welcome. Corporate Ghana, yes, there's some, some organizations that have supported this initiative, and we want to thank them. There's Power, there's ECG, there's multimedia giving us this platform to get to talk about it. There are a number of them. Eric is going to run through them. Yeah. And there's Great Co. and all these organizations that have supported. But beyond those who have supported, we're expecting corporate Ghana generally to be a part of this conversation because we intend to go somewhere with this and we need them on board.
Yeah, I almost asked him because I know that partnership is key.
Yes.
So obviously you're looking forward to partnering with some institutions.
Exactly.
But he's touched on it.
Yes.
When and where is this conference?
So this conference is happening at Labadi Beach Hotel on 25th of this month, Monday, from 8 a.m. in the morning, and kickstart.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, we are still open for sponsorship and registration. So just call in the number.
Okay.
And then we'll have some.
Is it for free, or I get to come in and pay something at the gate fee?
You pay something at the gate.
Okay, so run us through that.
Yeah. So so when you call, you can give the fee for. There's a link for registration as well. So the company that are supporting us at the moment, we have an Energy Commission, we have Ghana Link Network Services, we have ECG, we have Ghana Gas, we have Gridco, we have BRI. Some are still considering support. So we are saying that come on board and let's have a conversation. Let's see how we can, together as a nation, drive the green transition agenda by the Ministry of Energy.
Thank you so much,
Thank you for having me.
Apedo. I wanted to give you the last words, Israel, quickly. Your final words. Why should we pay attention to this conference?
We should pay attention to this conference because Noella, Kharyne, Yalley has given us a platform.
Yeah, and I mentioned that I was going to tell you guys what my full circle moment. So,
okay.
9 or 8 years ago, first time I appeared on television, I did. Seated by the side of Israel Laryea. He was the host of a Prime, JoyNews Prime, and today I get to interview him. Life is funny, isn't it? Israel, this was good. This was really good. And thank you so much for speaking to us as well. So we've been having a conversation with Israel Laryea. He's a veteran broadcast journalist, and Eric Apedo, who's the CEO of Safety Communications Consult. They are conveners, or he is convener of the Sustainability Leadership Conference that's coming up on the 25th of August at the Labadi Beach Hotel. You want to be there. And you want to say something?
One more thing. So we also have the Minister of Environment.
Okay.
And also SIGA as well as partners.
All right.
Though the Ministry of Energy is a key member or partner on this project.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming once again.
Thank you for having me.
On 25th, we'll be there. Up next is E-Corner with yours truly. Don't go nowhere.
Let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park.
Welcome to Safari Valley.
Our electric shuttle pulled up, and in no time, our tour began. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park. We were greeted by